So Nicolas Cage's new movie, The Surfer, was awesome. I thought it was a fantastic movie. It was heartfelt at sometimes. Sometimes you wanted him to just go full Cage on everybody. I thought it was going to be a bit crazier than it was. But overall, this movie was so much fun, and I was not expecting the twist that came, nor was I really expecting the ending. But damn, I think this is definitely another new favorite Nicolas Cage film of mine. But so The Surfer stars Nicolas Cage as the surfer, and he is coming back to his home beach in Australia with his son to go surfing. He just wants to show his son the waves, the water, the beach, and go surfing with him. He's trying to buy his old family house that's on the beach, right, in Australia. Turns out that when he was young, he used to surf all the time, always was in the water, and then I believe his father committed suicide, so they ended up having to leave Australia and move further into the United States. So he takes his son down to the water, and it turns out that there's all these like beach bros, right? There's all these young dudes that are just taking over the beach. They say they're the locals, but they don't let them surf. They threaten to, fight them. And they're like, if you don't surf here or you don't live here, you don't surf here. Very simple. And because he doesn't live there, he's not allowed to surf there. And it pisses him off because he's like, this was my beach. I grew up here. And they're like, we don't care. We want you out because you're not a local. And the little gang group of these douchebag kids, teen adults, young adults, are ran by this guy named Scally, who's played by Julian McMahon. He was the guy that played Victor Doom in the original Fantastic Four movies, the 2004, 2005 one or whatnot. So the whole movie is pretty much Nicolas Cage having to deal with these guys to try to be able to get onto his beach, right? He feels like, what the heck, who do these people think they are that they can just keep people from going onto this beach, right? So he takes his son home, and his son just thinks he doesn't really care about him or his mom, which seems to be what had happened because he pretty much worked his whole life to be able to afford to own that house again. And there's weird little moments where he's being transfixed by the beach and he's being transfixed by the house. He sees versions of him at the house or on the beach or in the water, and he's kind of like losing his mind. And so he comes back to the beach and tries to reason with these locals, and every time he gets into confrontations with them, they end up just messing with him. They steal articles of clothing of his. They vandalize his car. They end up stealing his car at one point, and slowly, he just kind of goes insane because he's losing himself trying to get into the water and trying to be on this beach. Even the police are in on it in a sense, and the police are working, or they work for these beach bros, and don't let him, come down to the beach, or say that the police are saying, you're a nuisance, and, you're just messing with the locals here and you just need to go home. And every time he comes into contact with these police officers, it turns out that he's lost something or something else has happened where he can't really verify who he is and why he's there at that beach in the first place. And it's just really sad, it makes you really feel for his character because he just goes through hell. All he wants to do is go surfing. All he wants to do is go swimming, and these guys are just messing with him to the point where they're literally making this poor guy go crazy. Now, there's this homeless guy that's at the beach also who won't leave. And it turns out that he kind of swaps places with this guy because bros like killed his son. And Nicolas Cage is like, I just wanted to bring my son here. And then the homeless guy's like, well, be careful. So he ends up kind of leaving, and Nicolas Cage kind of in his head takes his place, and he starts feeling like the homeless guy because, like I said, they start messing with him. They end up taking his watch because he wants to charge his phone at this little food stand. They take his ring, they end up stealing his car. It's just all this stuff that ends up happening, and then you find out at the very end that everything that was happening to him was a test because they wanted to see if he was really worthy of owning the house, if he was really worthy of being back at this beach and being a local. Even the people that are working on the deal to buy the house at the bank and like the insurance people are actually even in on it too. It's wild. Like everyone is in on this sick game to see if he is worthy of living back on this beach. So when they do accept him, because it was all a test, it turns out that the homeless guy himself is actually the one that really wants the revenge and wanted to see what exactly Nicolas Cage's character would do. Now, the trailer makes it seem crazy. The trailer makes it seem like he's going to go Mandy on everybody, that he's going to just go full Nicolas Cage and start killing people, but he doesn't. He's actually just a normal guy who is being pushed to the edge, and when he finally does lose it, he does beat the shit out of this one guy, but not Scally, not the main head. He ends up like tackling this guy that threatened to beat his son. And when they accept him, and they make him part of the locals, they're like, all right, you actually are worthy of living here. You actually are able to hold your own and show that you are a man of principle and that, you're here for a reason. He finds out that now this homeless guy is going to try to like murder everybody in a sense. And he has to then protect his son from this homeless guy and convince the homeless guy not to like kill everybody, like only maybe the people that really hurt him. And it's just crazy. It is honestly like a pretty crazy story because, I travel by myself. I know people that travel alone, and it would be terrifying to go somewhere where you used to live or where you used to hang out at, and then all of a sudden be terrorized by the people there to the point where you literally lose your livelihood. You almost you lose everything that made you, and you might not know who you are anymore because of it. I mean, it is terrifying. Like I said, the trailers make it out to be something crazy, like he's gonna start murdering and killing and all this horror, but the real horror is just having everything stripped away from you to the point where you have nothing. But it really was a great Nicolas Cage film. No one else I think could have played this role. Maybe other people could have, but he played the role in this story so well that it was awesome. Phenomenal acting across the board. All the people that end up going there, that see him, reacting to him differently. It was just, to him seeming like a bum, it was just awesome. So, I would definitely say check out The Surfer. It's Nicolas Cage, definitely at his best. You're not really a Nicolas Cage fan, understand. It is definitely a niche film. Not everybody would like it, and not everyone will understand it. But damn, was it a very cool, sad, triumphant story in the end. But can you imagine if everyone was in on it to try to make you feel like you didn't belong somewhere? It's crazy. But yeah, so I would definitely say check out The Surfer. Congrats, Nicolas Cage. I know he's going to be retiring from acting or whatnot soon, or like he's not going to be doing that many movies. So I'm definitely glad he was able to do this one. But yeah, this has been Ghost from the Craig. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys on the flip side or on the waves because summer is coming. So a lot of beach days will be ahead of us. Peace.